So today, boys and girls, I'm going to read you a book called A House for Hermit Crab. And this book is written and illustrated by Eric Carle. And you know Eric Carle because you've read Brown Bear, and The Very Hungry Caterpillar. He's written a lot of books that we've read. And this is one of his books called A House for Hermit Crab. "Time to move," said Hermit Crab one day in January. "I've grown too big for this little shell." He had felt safe and snug in his shell, but now it was too snug. Hermit Crab stepped out of the shell and into the floor of the ocean. But it was frightening out in the open ocean without a shell to hide in. "What if a big fish comes along and attacks me?" he thought. "I must find a new house soon." So this one is too small. In February, Hermit Crab found just the house he was looking for. It was a big shell and strong, and he moved right in, wiggling and waggling about inside to see how it felt, and it felt just right. But it looked so, well, so plain, thought Hermit Crab. That was in February. Now, in March, Hermit Crab met some sea anemones. They swayed gently back and forth in the water. "How beautiful you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and live on my house? Because it's so plain, it needs you." "I'll come," whispered a small sea anemone. Gently, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his shell. Sea anemones really do live in the ocean. So if that was March, what's going to come next? In April, Hermit Crab found a flock of starfish moving along slowly on the seafloor. "How handsome you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to decorate my house?" "I would," signaled the little sea star. Carefully, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and put it on his house. That was April, so now it's going to be this month, May. In May, Hermit Crab discovered some coral. They were hard and didn't move. "How pretty you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and help make my house more beautiful?" "I would," creaked a crusty coral. Gingerly, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. After May comes June, and in June, Hermit Crab came to a small group of snails crawling over a rock on the ocean floor. They grazed as they went, picking up algae and bits of debris and leaving a neat path behind them. "How tidy and hard-working you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and clean my house?" "I would," offered one of the snails. Happily, Hermit Crab picked it up with his claw and placed it on his shell. So after June, it's July. In July, Hermit Crab came upon several sea urchins. They also live in the ocean floor, and they had sharp, prickly needles. "How fierce you look," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to come and protect my house?" "I would," answered a spiky sea urchin. Gratefully, Hermit Crab picked it up in his claw and placed it near his shell. They are spiky, aren't they? And after July comes August. Some of you have your birthday in August. In August, Hermit Crab and his friends walked into a forest of seaweed. "Ooh, it's dark in here," thought Hermit Crab. "How dim it is," murmured the sea anemone. "How gloomy it is," whispered the starfish. "How murky it is," complained the coral. "I can't see," said the snail. "It's like a nightmare," cried the sea urchin. I wonder if he's going to use some seaweed. I guess they didn't. In September, Hermit Crab spied a school of lanternfish darting through the dark water. "How bright you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would one of you be willing to light up my house?" "I would," replied one lanternfish, and it swam over near the shell. In October, Hermit Crab approached a pile of smooth pebbles. "How sturdy you are," said Hermit Crab. "Would you mind if I rearranged you?" Not at all, answered the pebbles. Hermit Crab picked them up one by one with his claw and built a wall around his shell. Now, my house is perfect, said Hermit Crab. But in November, Hermit Crab felt his shell seemed a bit too small. And little by little, over the year, Hermit Crab had grown, just like you boys and girls grow. And soon he would have to find another bigger house. But he'd come to love his friends. The sea anemone, the starfish, the coral, the sea urchin, the snail, the lanternfish, and even the smooth pebbles. You've been so good to me, thought Hermit Crab. They're like a family. How can I ever leave them? I wonder what he's going to do. That would be hard. Look how beautiful his house is. In December, a smaller hermit crab passed by. I've outgrown my shell, she said. Would you know of a place for me? I've outgrown my house too, answered Hermit Crab. I must move on. You're welcome to live here, but you must promise to be good to my friends. I promise, said the little crab. The following January, Hermit Crab stepped out and the little crab moved in. Couldn't stay in that little shell forever, said Hermit Crab as he waved goodbye. The ocean floor looked wider than he remembered, but Hermit Crab wasn't afraid. Soon he spied the perfect house, a big empty shell. It looked, well, a little plain. But sponges, he thought, barnacles, clownfish, sand dollars, electric eels. Oh, there are so many possibilities. I can't wait to get started. The end. And there's one of Eric Carl's paintings that he uses. Wasn't that a good story? You have an activity in your bag where you get to decorate a shell for a hermit crab. Have fun. Bye.